Hey Clashes, the April season is around the corner, and this means that the Clan War League season is starting soon as well. And what does everyone need when the Clan War League season starts? That's right, bases. Bases for town level 9 all the way up to town level 17. And as always, a huge shout out goes to RH Base Building and all of the amazing base builders for providing those bases for this video. As well, if you want to get your own custom-made bases, make sure that you're visiting the RH Base Building website. It's going to be linked down below the description, so you can buy your own bases if you want to. With code iTzu, you can even save 10%. But let's get things started, because we are going to go through every single base. We're starting things off with town level 9, all the way up to town level 17. The base links are as always down below the description, but I will share as well with you what the base builder thought of building the base, and as well what clan castle he is recommending which you should run to make sure that this base is optimized even more. For town level 9, we have a base built by Valley, and the clan castle which he recommends is a lava hound, because it is not really centralized, the clan castle, which means it's really likely that this hound is going to be lured, and it can really annoy the attacker, especially because you want to typically bring other spells, not really poison spells. Town level 10, it's going to be again Valley as the base builder, and this base is all about the core. Which means it's not that the core is really stacked like damage-wise. No, instead you have the damage more on the outside layers. Instead we have the stacked core when it comes down to hit points. Those hit points can stall a lot and really make sure that those troops are stuck in the middle for quite some time. So the outside defense, like the Inferno Tower for example, can actually shoot at the middle troops which are stuck there and can really get a lot of damage out. The clan castle which he recommends make sure that there's even more damage within the village, because he's recommending 1 super minion, then 2 headhunters, and then 1 archer. This is for town level 10. Let's move on to town level 12. On this one, we have the base builder VRB, and this is like a little bit of different style. Typically, and this is as well for the rest of the video for most of the other town level, whenever you have an eagle artillery in your village, you typically have it really one-sided to really bait the attacker from a specific angle. On this one, it's all about to make sure that the eagle is staying alive for as long as possible, so it can shoot as much as possible, which can be really impactful on those lower town hall level. On this one, the only things which are in the core is the sweepers and the eagle and the town hall, so not as crazily stacked, and then we have all of the defenses around it. The clan castle which he recommends is 1 super minion, 2 headhunters, and then 11 archers. Let's move on with the town level 12. On this one, we have Marco building this base, and this is more, again, a little bit more classic, or you have the town hall in the middle, then the 2 sweepers spawning at as well, and the eagle a bit further on the outside to make sure that people are attacking from that side, or we then have a lot of traps against that, and as well the core stacked with expos to make sure that there's a bit more of damage within the core, so the defenses can fight back. The clan castle which is recommended on this one is overall 2 super minion, then as well 1 headhunter, and then the archers to fill. That is the overall concept here, to have a bit more of damage within the base to make sure that things which are reaching the core are getting fired away with the super minions, and they're going down quite quickly. But with that, let's get to town level 13. On this one, we have wolves building a beautiful looking base, and the clan castle which he recommends on this one is 2 super minion, 2 rocket loons, and then archer fill. On this one, we again have the clan castle towards the core, but we have as well the bottom side completely open, which means surrounding heroes, or in general any ground troops, are really likely to lure those rocket loons to make sure that they can have a lot of surprising impact. Because if you don't react quick enough, an archer queen or something different can really go down really quickly if you're not paying attention to that right away. So there's a lot of threat on the attacking heroes. And then otherwise, it's again this classic setup of the core with the sweepers covering everything. On this one, we have the Inferno Towers a bit further in the core to make sure that there's more damage. Town of 14, Ronaldo, who has built this beautiful looking base. And something which is standing out to me in this one for sure are the army camps. Army camps within the village typically are looking like a little weird, but the reason why you can do it is because you want to make sure that there is areas where there are no buildings. This building itself is really big, which means as soon as this building, if you're coming from the Inferno Tower side, for example, is getting destroyed, like the deeper one, the one further to the town hall, the pathing to the town hall is getting destroyed really quickly as well. So the pathing into the core can be kind of tricky, to be honest. The clan castle to support all of that with more damage is overall 2 super minion, then as well 3 headhunters, and then fill with archers to make sure that there's as much damage within the base as possible. With that, we're getting towards the next base, which is going to be Town Hall 15. ESK built this base, and this looks like a really solid base in my opinion, because we have the flanks getting covered by the poison towers. Then if someone wants to fly over the poison from the poison towers with a super archer or any type of blimp, for example, we have the bomb towers over there to cover even more of the damage. And then we have the outside ring. So this overall reminds me of one of those Invis Tower bases when it comes down to the layouts, which we have on Town Hall 17. But there is no Invis Tower setup. We have the more power with the poison towers, and as well we have then the outside ring of defenses to make sure that the core is not as easily reached. The clan castle is recommended here because we're getting to the high town levels where the defense can deal a lot of damage, and this is why we have ice golems in here to stall the attacker, especially now as we're getting to the range where there's all of those strong ground troops coming into play with the root riders and everything around it. So clan castle, 2 ice golems, 2 rocket loons, and then 4 archers to really have as much ground damage as possible. Next one, Town Hall 16. I'm sorry, it's not it's a bit blurry, the photo, but I think you can still see everything which is important, which is for sure the overall layout. Having like a small island within the core, making sure that there is quite some defense, but at the same time not giving the attacker too much value when it comes down to a blimp, for example. We have the monolith there, yes, we have the town hall there, but otherwise, this is still a lot of damage within that core, and as well then the surrounding as a ring style setup. The clan castle which is recommended here is 2 ice golems and then 20 archers to delay things, and as well if the archers are splitting up and there is no poison, which a lot of strategies by now don't use any poisons anymore, can really mess up the attacker if he's not paying attention, or if he has the electro boots, for example, that can really then backfire quite a lot. For this one, otherwise, eagle on the bottom side, but we have the sweepers as well. You have to fly in between them, which is never a good idea. Next one, we have then Town Hall 17. Gaku built this beautiful looking base with the double rage tower setup, and this is obviously with ice golems. Because he's running double the rage towers, he's using triple ice golems to make sure that things are getting delayed as much as possible, and the defenses can deal as much damage as possible. Raged up, new merge tower, can deal a lot of damage. Trust me, that is really a scary defense. Triple ice golem, 1 headhunter and 4 archers is the clan castle overall, completely filled up. And this is then with the 2 rage areas that can really backfire if you cannot really time it on when this clan castle is about to get lured, especially with the timing really far inside that core. Otherwise, we have some areas with storages around the scatter shots on the right and on the left side. We're trying to deny pathing for the Royal Champion if it's a Royal Champion charge, or Root Riders in general, to make sure that the scatter is staying alive for as long as possible, and the pathing into it, pathing-wise for the Root Riders or the Royal Champion to create pathing, Root Riders to get into the core, is denied, and it's way more tricky. But, as I said, all of the links are down below in the description. I really hope that they're going to help you to reach some new goals within the Clan War League. I hope everyone is going to have the best season, and hopefully you can get into the next league and get a lot of 3 stars. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Again, huge shout out goes to RH Baseball and to all of the amazing base builders. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I wish you guys back to on with the next one. Until then, see ya and bye bye.